Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
I'm Dr. Sky, and welcome to the Dr. Sky Experience, heard here every week on America's iconic radio station, Talk Radio 77 WABC, out of New York City and around the world. Welcome, Sky Watchers, to Sky Update number 7. As we welcome you to Thanksgiving Week 2022, wishing you and yours the very best for a healthy and happy Thanksgiving season. But as we look to the skies, we find out that during Thanksgiving Week, some interesting objects as always are visible in our skies. But first, the Dr. Sky Experience talks about great items in realms of astronomy, space, aviation, and weather, and so much more, and interviews with great guests from American exceptionalism as we continue to talk about truth, justice, and the American way. But our Sky Update number 7 continues as we move through this Thanksgiving week, as mentioned before. We begin, of course, with the moon. Right now, Sky Watchers are coming to another of the great new moons. We call it the Dark of the Moon. Why? Because if you're looking for faint sky objects, this would be the week to do it, and if you're away from city lights. The new moon on the 23rd heralds in the start of lunation number 1236. That started way back in the 1920s, keeping track of each lunation since. But Sky Watchers looking low into the southwest as we begin the very next week, we'll see by the 29th a very thin sliver of moonlight low in the southwest just after sunset. But interestingly enough, we find out that the moon then continues to race through our skies naturally in the month of December. But more about that next week. What we find now is a facsimile of a Thanksgiving turkey. Are there any constellations in the heavens that are called a turkey? No, but we have something that might be close. If you look high up into the sky into the northwest from a dark location during this particular week, when there's no moon in the sky, the great constellation of Cygnus the Swan, not quite a turkey, adorns our skies. It's deep in the Milky Way, and from darker locations with a pair of binoculars, you will be most impressed. Why? Because you're looking at one of the arms of our galaxy deep outward from the Earth, and this region of the sky, the Milky Way and Cygnus the Swan, is quite spectacular. For the darkest of skies, you'll notice in the middle of the constellation there seems to be a darkening or a rift. That is known as the Great Rift of the Milky Way, not a split in the Milky Way with the darkness meaning no stars, but more importantly dark obscuration dust that makes our view of the Milky Way less complete. But nonetheless, the billions of stars that are in this region of the sky come out in their full beauty when you look in a pair of binoculars. Telescopes give you a narrow field view, but binoculars, they give you a magnificent view. And if you'd like to always email us, we appreciate all the many emails that we get from our radio programs here and around the nation. It's simply our email, drskyshow@gmail.com. That's DRSKYshow@gmail.com. Let's talk a little bit more about the zodiac signs, and the planet, the moon, and the sun, of course, occupy that region of the sky. What we find out if we look along the ecliptic, the zodiac path, just after sunset, the planet Saturn is still high in the south, easy to see with the naked eye, but much better in a telescope. You can show your friends and neighbors the ring system, which many will find to be quite amazing, if not astronomical, no pun intended. To the left of the mighty planet Saturn is Jupiter, the brightest of the white objects in the sky that you see, white because the planet shines so brightly because of its reflection of all the material on Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter now over 400 million miles from your eye. But we've saved the best, in my opinion, the planet Mars. That's the bright orangey red object that rises in that area of the northeast part of the sky, right around, say, 7:30 p.m. Those of you with telescopes are in for a treat. Even a 200-time magnification in a telescope can show you some dark features on the surface, and hopefully a glimpse of the North Polar Cap with what's called the North Polar Hood, a large area of ice and dust particles like snow, but only their carbon dioxide, in the Martian atmosphere. Remember, a big event happens when Mars reaches opposition. Simply, it's at its best on the evening of December the 8th, when Mars rises at sunset and is in our skies all night and will be closing in just a little bit more than 50 million miles from the Earth. For you telescope fans out there, Mars has a diameter at that time of some 17.1 seconds of arc, meaning it's decent enough to have a disk seen in a decent-sized telescope. Always remember to keep your eyes to the skies. What do we see during the dark of the moon? We're still in torrid fireball season, so if you look just after sunset and have some patience, that's what it takes, you may see some slow-moving objects. These are fireballs moving and emanating out of the sky. The Leonid meteor shower is waning, but in December we get considerably one of the best meteor showers of the entire year. That is the Geminids by about the 14th of December. A bright moon may spoil some of it, but they're also known for fast-moving objects. We call them fireballs, or slow-moving fireballs, depending on who you ask, but still great things to see in the sky. We're so privileged and honored to be here with the Dr. Sky Experience with Sky Update number 7 on America's iconic radio station, Talk Radio 77 WABC, out of New York and around the world on the web at wabcradio.com. Check our blog out, of course, at Dr. Sky. Of course, we have here at wabcradio.com. And we thank you for listening to the Dr. Sky podcast, filled, as always, you tell us, with great information from the realms of astronomy, space, aviation, and weather. Email me, drskyshow@gmail.com. We always say this. Always remember to keep your eyes to the skies. Simply, I'm your navigator on the highway to the heavens. And catch us on WABC with Frank Morano on the other side of midnight during monthly moments that we have and we share on his radio show with all of you so you can get the latest in these subjects. And don't forget, check us out at our Dr. Sky blog for your Artemis 1 moon rocket update. Have a great Thanksgiving.